Konnichiwa minasan. Hey friends, how are you? Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel. Friends, as we discussed in our last video of this series Ticket to Tokyo, that the application notification for the MBA program from the Japanese government, that is MEXT, Ministry of Cultural Affairs, Sports and External Affairs, the Young Leaders Program 2026, YLP 2026 application notification is out, and now it is a good time to submit the application form if you are willing to do MBA from Japan. So in the last video, we discussed about the 4 schools and the contact points in India where you have to submit your application. In this video, we are going to discuss about the application guidelines and how to fill the application form, and we shall take the School of Business Administration, that is Hitotsubashi University, as our reference, and we shall go through the application guidelines and application form for the business administration course. So with that being said, and before going into that, so a quick recap, that you have to submit your application if you are willing to do MBA in business administration. Then you have to submit your application in India if you are an Indian applicant to either CII or FICCI, depending upon which field best suits you. So the contact person name is given here. You can see the phone number, the email address. Before submitting your application, you must call them and know about the process, because the processes may be specific and may vary, and some additional documents or some additional requirements might be there which may not be written in the on the website. So you have to first call them and then submit the application to them. So CII, Confederation of Indian Industry, is one, and the other one is Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI. Here again, the contact person's name, phone number, and email ID is given. So if you are applying for any of the schools under the YLP 2026 MEXT scholarship, then please get in touch with these contact persons. So for business administration, CII or FICCI, for School of Government, Local Governance, and School of Law, these are the contact points which we have discussed in the last video. So I won't go into this in detail. Now I will straight away go to the website, embassy website, and from there I will go to the relevant page for YLP application. So let's go. So this is the way we generally do that. So Young Leaders Program Student 2026. So here you will find all the schools, and we will take reference of business administration course because this is the most popular one, and more or less the application guidelines and application form are more or less the same for each of these. So it's enough to go through any one of these, and if you are applying for multiple schools, then you can fill up the application accordingly. It's almost the same. So business administration course, there are 3 links hosted by Hitotsubashi University. So if you click here, it will take you to Hitotsubashi University page for the YLP program, and you can read that page. So I am not going there because I had already produced a video earlier in which I had discussed about, we did a virtual tour of Hitotsubashi University's MBA program. So please watch that video. I have given the link of that video in the description section of this video as well. So now let's go to the application guidelines first, and then we will fill up the application form. So let's click on the application guidelines. So application guidelines, Japanese government MEXT scholarship for 2026, Young Leaders Program YLP student, business administration course. So who is eligible for this? Participants should be entrepreneurs, business managers, public officials, and so on, who are expected to play active roles as future national leaders in their respective countries. That means you should be capable of proving that you are a deserving candidate for this course. So your background, your experience, your education, everything should be in sync with the requirements of this course. Otherwise, your application may not be successful or you may not get the scholarship. The host university is the Hitotsubashi University Business School, School of International Corporate Strategy, that is ICS, Hitotsubashi ICS. The Master of Business Administration MBA program at Hitotsubashi ICS is designed to prepare students for work in the business world. Courses focus on strategy, marketing, accounting, finance, etc. All classes are taught in English. Approximately 15 students, including entrepreneurs, business managers, public officials, and so on. So every year, 15 students are given this full scholarship to perform MBA in business administration in Japan. The recruitment will be conducted through recommending authorities. Now, who are the recommending authorities for India? It is the CII and the FICCI, as we just discussed. So always remember that for YLP program, the Japanese embassy comes into picture at a later stage. So your application will be routed to the Japanese embassy definitely, but through CII or FICCI. You cannot directly submit the application to the Japanese embassy. So the either the CII or the FICCI should recommend your application to the embassy, and then embassy will further forward it to the MEXT. Screening procedure, as you can see, first screening by the recommending authorities, that is FICCI or CII. Second screening by each host university. Final screening by YLP committee established by MEXT. Curriculum. Please refer to appendix curriculum guidelines. So this will be a 1 year duration course which will result in conferring of a MBA degree. So you will get an MBA degree at the completion of this course. And what will be there in the course? It will be something which is suitable for developing national leaders in many fields. By utilizing the advantages of Japan's deep exchanges with Europe, the United States, and other Asian countries, and tapping into the school's local and global networks, students will explore the strengths of Japanese management practices as well as Western and Asian practices and create human networks through various activities such as special lectures and internships. All instructions will be given in English and the program will commence in September 2026. MEXT will offer scholarships to foreign students who wish to study at Japanese universities as YLP students for the academic year 2026 under the MEXT scholarship program. The application conditions are described below. Now, the important part comes here. Field of study will be business administration at Hitotsubashi University Business School, School of International Corporate Strategy, Hitotsubashi ICS. So this is where you will study actually if you are selected for this scholarship. Qualifications. Nationality: applicants must be nationals of a country participating in the YLP program, and India is one of them. Age must be under 40 years of age as of September 1, 2026. Applicants must be college graduates who have achieved excellent results. Academic background: English ability, a minimum TOEFL IBT score of 100, TOEFL PBT score of 600, TOEFL CBT score of 250, or IELTS academic score of 7 or equivalent. General aptitude for business studies. This is determined by the graduate management admission test, that is GMAT. So the GMAT score should be 600 or above. The GMAT focus edition score should be 555 or above. The graduate record examination, if you have given GRE score, then it should be 160 or above on quantitative reasoning and 150 or above on verbal reasoning is expected, or other indicators. Although not strictly required, the submission of the GMAT or GRE score is highly desirable. So that means this is not something mandatory, but if you have either GMAT or GRE, that will place you ahead of other applicants. So a GMAT or GRE score taken within the past 5 years is one of the several admissions criteria that helps the admissions committee determine the business aptitude of the applicant. Candidates who do not submit a GMAT or GRE score must take verbal and quantitative examinations on the interview day. So this is the thing. Professional experience: at least 2 years of full-time work experience as of September 1, 2026, and will continue to be employed at the same place of employment at the time of application and after enrollment in the university. Health should be fine. Arrival in Japan, this is fine. Visa requirements. Applicants shall in principle newly obtain a student visa at the Japanese diplomatic mission located in the applicant's country, that is in the Japanese embassy, and enter Japan with the status of residence as student. If the applicant resides in Japan exceptionally before acceptance, the applicant must change or renew his/her status of residence to student by the end of the month prior to the installment of the first scholarship payment. Return to home country and resumption of work after the scholarship period. In accordance with the objectives of the YLP, after the scholarship period, applicants are expected to make efforts to build friendly relationships among various countries, including Japan, by creating human and intellectual networks among leaders in countries across the world. To this end, applicants should in principle return to their home countries by the end of the final month of the scholarship period and resume their work at the recommending authority or the organization designated by the recommending authorities, among others. Non-eligibility: those who are military personnel, those who cannot arrive in Japan by the last date of the period designated by the accepting university, those who are already enrolled in a Japanese university, those who are currently also applying to another program under the Japanese government scholarship system, holders of dual nationality at the time of application, those who change their residence status to that of others than student after arrival in Japan, and those who are planning to receive other scholarships or fellowships, those who plan from the time of application for the MEXT scholarship program to engage in long-term research. Period of scholarship will be 11 months from October 2026 to August 2027. The scholarship payments will begin in October 2026 as the first term of the program starts after September 2, 2026. Scholarship will be 242,000 yen per month. Due to the situation of the Japanese government's budget, the amount of payment may be subject to change each fiscal year. The scholarship will not be paid to a grantee while he or she takes a leave of absence or is long absent from the assigned university. Travel cost will be provided. Transportation from Japan will be provided. Education fees for the entrance examination, matriculation and tuition will be paid by MEXT. Accommodations: if YLP students so desire, they may reside in single occupancy accommodations arranged or provided by Hitotsubashi University for a reasonable fee. Suspension of payment of scholarship: this is fine. This is not needed at this point of time because right now we are more interested in the selection process. Selection based on the recommendations of authorities, that means CII or FICCI for India. The participating university will select initial candidates from among applicants through an interview and a review of the submitted documents. If it is impossible to hold an interview in the applicant's home country, an interview will be conducted by telephone or online. Those who have been selected initially by the participating universities will be put forward to the YLP committee established by MEXT for the final selection. Education at university: all lectures and practical training will be in English. Application procedure. Now this comes the most important part of this application guidelines. Applicants must submit the following documents to their recommending authorities by the designated date. The submitted documents will not be returned. So designated date, as we discussed in the last video, it's not mentioned anywhere. You have to call or email CII or FICCI to get more information about the application process, the application documents that you need to submit, and the deadline of submission. So that you have to do on your own. So now what are the documents and what all needs you need to arrange? First is the application for admission. So which we will see after we finish this document. We will go to the application form and see what's there. So one original in the prescribed form. Photograph 6 by 4 centimeter taken within the past 6 months. Upper body front view hats off should be affixed on the application form. One original. Recommendation letter from the recommending authority. One original, free format. Certificate of graduation or a certified true copy of an official diploma from both undergraduate and postgraduate studies at the university the applicant attended. One original. Official transcript or a certified true copy of an academic record from both undergraduate and postgraduate studies at the university the applicant attended. One original. So one is the certificate of graduation, this is the past certificate, and the other one is the mark sheets, that is official transcripts. Then a very important point, essay. essay explaining the applicant's aspirations and future plans after the completion of the YLP. That means you have to write your vision, and this will be for sure one of the most important criteria of the selection. So you have to write a very strong and solid essay explaining your aspirations and future plans if you are provided the scholarship, and what will you do after completing the MBA program at Japan. Then answers to the essay questions to be prepared as indicated in the essay question sheet. So this sheet is not provided in the application form, to be very clear, so don't get confused. When you reach out to CII or FICCI, if required, they will be providing you the questions related to essay, which you will have to prepare the answers and submit there. So for now, this part is not included in this application form, and when we go through the application form we will see if that is really the case. GMAT or GRE score report. GMAT or GRE score received within the past 5 years is highly desirable, although not strictly required. If the applicant has not taken the GMAT or GRE, we encourage the applicant to take the test no later than mid-September 2025. Scores of the online GMAT and GRE are also accepted. One photocopy of the scorecard will be enough. English proficiency scores, TOEFL or IELTS, again photocopy. Two recommendation letters from the employer and or from the supervising professor of the university the applicant attended. So the earlier recommendation letter was from the recommending authority. If the authority, the CII or the FICCI, so the recommendation letter from that authority, and this recommendation letter is your personal, which you should take from your current employer or from any professor of the university that you have earlier attended for your undergraduate or graduate course. Photocopy of the applicant's passport, a copy of the applicant's family register or citizenship certificate, any of these. So passport should be fine for Indian students. Certificate of health to be issued by the medical institution designated by the Japanese embassy, one original in the prescribed form. So they will provide you the prescribed form to obtain this health one. So we will see in the application form, it should be part of that. Similarly, the recommendation letters also in the prescribed form. Then there are several notes written for arranging these documents. Let's see, this is also very important. Use A4 paper as the standard for all submitted documents, which in principle should be typed. Handwritten documents should be written clearly. These documents should all be written in English. If written in another language, attach an English version translated by an official organization. Caution is necessary as many applications are not written in English and do not come with an English translation, particularly recommendation letters and diplomas. Reason for application and future plans will be important factors in selection, so submit a short essay of 2 or 3 pages explaining as much as possible what you expect from this program and what kind of job you seek in the short and long terms. If you submit TOEFL or IELTS academic text scores as English proficiency scores, please submit scores obtained roughly within the past 2 years. Test scores other than TOEFL or IELTS academic, including certificates issued by universities, will not be accepted. Recommendation letters written by a workplace supervisor or an academic advisor from one's university should be written by two separate persons and must use the stipulated format. At least one and preferably two should be written by your supervisor or superior at work. Recommendation letters written on forms other than the stipulated format will not be accepted. Any content provided outside the stipulated format will not be considered for review. So be very, very careful about these recommendation letters. If you have written or published a book or a dissertation, that means a thesis, submit a separate summary or abstract. Your application may be rejected if the submitted application is either incomplete or inaccurate, or if some documents are missing. Write the numbers 1 through 11 in line with the item number for the items above on each document in the upper right corner. That means for each of these 11 documents, you have to write 1, 2, 3, like they have mentioned. 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So on the document right hand top right hand corner, you have to number this like this and you have to circle it so that they know which one belongs to which one. Unavoidable circumstances. In the event of unavoidable or unforeseen circumstances, the Japanese government reserves the right to change or cancel your arrival or scholarship. Okay, so these are not that important. So now this is the curriculum guideline. This is the appendix. So this explains the course content of the business administration program at Hitotsubashi University. So this you can go through by yourself. I don't have to explain this. The courses that will be taught, required courses 34 credits, and all these subjects you will have to study. Elective courses are also there. So 34 credits will come from the mandatory courses and 20 credits, minimum 20 credits from the elective courses. And there are optional courses, intensive writing and Japanese business practicum, Japanese language basic 1, 2, 3, 4, intermediate 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. To obtain information about Hitotsubashi University Business School, School of International Corporate Strategy, Hitotsubashi ICS, please access the website at this address. All inquiries must be submitted via email to ics-opencampus at ics.hub.hit-u.ac.jp. So if you have any questions or if you have any queries about this program, you can always write an email to this address. So this is the application guidelines. So next we shall move to the application form. So let's see the application form. Application for Japanese government MEXT scholarship Young Leaders Program student for 2026 Business Administration. So the application should be typewritten if possible or neatly handwritten in block letters. Numbers should be in Arabic figures. Arabic figure means like this, the normal Indian figure, the English numerals, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, the normal numerals, not the Roman numerals. It's the normal numbers. Year should be written in Anno Domini system. So Anno Domini system, don't panic after reading this, like what is it all about. So this is nothing but the normal English calendar basically. So it's nothing, there is no rocket science in that. Proper noun should be written in full and not be abbreviated. Personal data entered in this application will only be used for scholarship selection purposes. So the first one is name in full in native language. That means if you are a Hindi speaker, you should write your name in Hindi here. So you can use any app. For example, I sometimes use Baraha. So Baraha is a good app to type in a regional language. Let's see if I can type using Hindi here. So family name, will it allow? It's not allowing to type in Hindi. Okay, so English is okay, but what happens if I change the language to probably Hindi? Then what happens? Let's see. No, it doesn't take the input as Hindi. So better we exit this app, and in that case, when you fill up the rest of the things and take the printout. After taking printout, you can write using a ball pen, black ball pen, very clearly, neatly and clearly your name in your native language. And sex you can write, if you are male sex then male, if you are female sex then female. So you can select this in Roman block capital letters. So this will be in English in block letters. Nationality Indian. Possession of Japanese nationality? No. Here paste the photograph. Write your name and nationality in block letters on the back of the photo. This is to ensure that even if the photo gets out of this application form, still they will be able to identify whose photo is this. Now this is date of birth. You can write something, anything like 87, 1987, then month, 11, then day 16, like that, something like that. So, and age you can calculate accordingly. Just subtract from 1st September 2026 with this and then write the age. Present status with the name of the university enrolled in or of the employer. So your present status will be written here. So if it is some university name, write the university name. If it is a company where you are working, write the company name and write their contact number, fax is if available, and the email address of that university or the company, not your email address. Present home address, telephone number, fax, email address here. If the above present home address will be changed at the time of leaving from your country, please specify the changed address below. So if not, then you just leave it blank. Telephone, fax, email. If possible, write an email address where you can be contacted for periods that include the time before you come to Japan, your stay in Japan, and the period after you return to Japan. So don't just put any email address, just you always use the main email address that you use on a daily basis. Next is the education background, level of education, elementary, secondary, undergraduate, graduate. So they have given lot of space here so that you can fill all of this. So start with the elementary, then elementary means class 1 to 5, then secondary, here you can write 6 to 10 if it is like that, and then higher secondary will be 11, 12. So there are how many blocks? If you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 blocks. So you can distribute it as primary, secondary, higher secondary, undergraduate, and graduate. So in that way, everything will get accommodated. And in case there are multiple schools that you have attended, then accordingly you have to adjust and they have written here, if the blank spaces above are not sufficient for information required, please attach a separate sheet. In such case, please stipulate that the information is on a separate page. So for example, if you have attended, like suppose 5 schools you have attended from class 1 to class 12, then you have to give information of all the 5 schools. So in that case, this space is not enough. So you can attach a separate sheet, and but provided you mention that somewhere here that please refer to an additional sheet that I have attached with this application. So in that way they will know that there is information on a separate sheet. So name and address of the school, year and month of entrance and completion, period of schooling, and diploma or degree awarded. So this is very simple. You should be able, since you are applying for a master degree course, so it's not something that I should be telling you. You already know how to do all this. So some important notes are present here. Exclude kindergarten education or nursery school education. Preparatory education for university administration is included in upper secondary school. If the applicant possesses a high school equivalent living qualification, indicate this in the blank of the row of the secondary upper. Any school years or levels skipped should be indicated in the fourth column. Diploma or degree awarded, major subject, skipped years and levels. For example, graduate high school in 2 years, etc. If you attended multiple schools at the same level of education due to moving house or readmission to university, then write the schools in the same column and include the number of years of study and current status for each school. Calculate and write the total number of years studied based on duration as a student, including extended leave such as a summer vacation. Then comes the employment record. Begin with the most recent employment. So your current employer's name, if you are working in a company, so you should write the name and address of the organization, year and month of employment from to, period of employment in years and months, then division, section, position, type of work. So that will be very, very specific to an applicant. So you can list down as many companies or as many organizations you have worked for. And finally, you have to total all these total years of full time, these many years and these many months as of September 1, 2026. So you have to extrapolate also. We have to consider until September 1, 2026. Minimum required is at least 2 years of full-time work experience is required. If you do not have 2 years of full-time experience, then do not apply. If the blank spaces above are not sufficient, then please attach a separate sheet, but you have to stipulate that the information is on a separate page. State the titles or subjects of books or papers, including the graduation thesis authored by the applicant, if any, with the name and address of the publisher and the date of publication. A summary of the papers should be included. So this is that portion where you should write about your publications, including your thesis that or any dissertation work that you might have undergone, along with all the details that they have asked. Then there is extracurricular and regional activities. So this is again very specific for each applicant. If you have any such extracurricular activities, maybe you have won some prizes in sports at regional level or state level, so you should be having evidence of whatever you provide. So without evidence, your qualification will not be acceptable. So if you have a certificate obtained in any competition, or you are involved with some non-government organizations, NGO organizations, non-profit organizations, and doing some social work or something, all those should be added in this section. Japanese language proficiency, this is again very important to get a scholarship. So you have to write your level on for reading, writing, and speaking categories as excellent, good, or poor. Foreign language proficiency, evaluate your level and fill in with X where applicable in the following blocks. So this is for your English. For English, report your TOEFL or IELTS course. Those who apply for the business administration course should also report their GMAT or GRE score. So here you can write your TOEFL or IELTS, GMAT, or GRE. And this is the language English. You can list down the language like English or Hindi, or your mother tongue Bengali, and then you can write how good you are in all of these. Accompanying dependents. So if you are taking your family members with you, then that information needs to be provided. I would suggest that you do not provide any of such information, because if they see that multiple persons will be coming with you, then your chances of getting the scholarship becomes less, because that will incur additional costs. Person to be notified in the applicant's home country in case of emergency: name, telephone number, occupation, and what is your relationship with that person. If you understand and accept all the matters stated in the application guidelines for the Japanese government scholarship, then check the box on the right, date of application, applicant's name in Roman capital letters, and so on. So now in this application form, there is nowhere mention of any essay questions or any other such things. So then what should you do? So what you can do, you can go to the website of Hitotsubashi University. I know it's very confusing. Even like every person every year, whoever applies, they get confused because it's really scattered information. They have not consolidated the information, and it's really annoying. So here, if you click on this, then you have how to apply Young Leaders Program YLP. So you go through that and you explore what is additionally mentioned here, which was not mentioned in this guidelines. So this is the guidelines that MEXT has published. So how this guidelines is different from what is written on the Hitotsubashi University's page, like this one. So application, interview, decision. So here you will see how to apply MBA program, MBA application package, financing MBA attending. So application package, if I click here, so there will be some information available. So here you have to write your name and I agree. Then what will happen? Let's check it out. So see, now the application package has downloaded. So this is again 18-page document. So I will not be going through all this. Just you go through this and it will give you proper information, more accurate information, because this is directly coming from the Hitotsubashi University. And I remember I had gone through this document in the video that I was just referring to. So I am giving the URL of that video in the description section of this video as well, and you can watch that video as well. So in this document they have provided information about the essay and all those things, the format of the essay and all those things. So essay, please download the format at how to apply. So here, oh, the page is not found. Earlier it was there. So I think you should watch the previous video that I had prepared, because in that video it's there, the essay format and all. So I have discussed already there. So okay, then that sums up it. So good luck with the application process, and I know it's really very confusing because things are not well organized there. So these are the contact points. Before you start doing any work on the application, just reach out to Mr. Pikender Pal Singh. Mr. Pikender Pal Singh at this contact number or in this email ID. You call, you email for CII, and also you call Mr. Pasricha at this number and this email address for FICCI, and just ask them how to apply for this YLP 2026 program, what are the documents needed and what are the deadlines and all, and give them your details so that they can suggest you whether you should be applying to CII or to FICCI. In that way it will be clear. And this is only for the business administration stream. If you are applying for School of Law and you are already in a government body, then it will be DoPT. And if you are a general candidate for law, then it will be again be CII. And if you are applying for School of Government or School of Local Governance, then it will be DoPT, that is Ministry of Personal Pensions. And these are the contacts. So I am giving the link of both the videos, the previous video and the one that I just mentioned, which we did a long time ago. So watch those two videos so that you get more information about the YLP program. And rest you have to explore through Google or ChatGPT, and you should be able to find the all the information. So with that being said, now I take your leave and good luck with your application. Thank you. See you next time.